This is going to be a demonstration of the 5-watt Aqueon mini heater. It's a fish heater, and we'll show you how warm this thing gets, and we'll show you how much this window unit air conditioner will cool down. So I'm gonna set my phone down. I don't think you're gonna be able to watch this while I do it. But what I'm doing is I'm gonna just attach. You'll see it in a second. I'm just attaching the probe, the temperature probe, onto the heater, and let's just watch the temperature. It's just plugged in straight into the wall. Earlier I had this hooked up, and it was usually it's reading the room temperature around 60 something. I had it pretty cool here earlier, and so this is still, I had it sitting inside the air conditioner. Well, anyway, so I had this attached for, like all day long to see what the temperature would get to with the meat sensor. And it stayed somewhere around 125 degrees. So let's see where it stabilizes. The truth is, it doesn't need to be that hot. It needs to be just a tiny bit warmer. Plugged in? It's not even plugged in. An idiot. No wonder. It's still warm from earlier when I unplugged it. So I expect it to stabilize somewhere around, above 110, maybe 120. What I've found so far is I can place this on the air conditioner, on the temperature probe, and place this inside, and it'll get down to about 34, between 34 and 35, and stay at that temperature, so it doesn't quite get to freezing. So it's like, as soon as it gets cold enough, there's enough cool air to warm this up. Well, there's enough cool air to cool this down just enough. Or shit, maybe it'll freeze at some point, I don't know, but it got down to 34 point something earlier. We'll just let this go and see where it ends up. Actually I bought this thing here because what it'll do is you can set the temperature on here and have it turn off. That's why I bought this. It wasn't very expensive. Bought it on Amazon for, I don't know, whatever price they have it, for the best price. There was only, there was a most reasonable price one. Maybe it was $20 or something. I really don't remember. So it's slowly going. It's going to hit. There's 120. So let it go until it stops going up. And in a minute, we're going to switch it around, and we're going to turn the air conditioner on, and we're going to see how cold it gets, how cold the air gets. You'll see it gets really cold coming out of the vent. So earlier when I did this, this is around the temperature where it stopped, 130-ish. But it was on the analog here. It was on this meat, scale, so you can't really see precisely what it is. So I'm really interested in seeing how far this thing goes before it stops. It's been going about 5 minutes now. You see, it doesn't go up too fast. That's good. The other ones get hot real fast. Like, it's too fast to hold. Burn your damn hand. So that would eventually cause trouble, because it would end up being, if you had it next to wood, it would eventually dehydrate the wood because it would evaporate, and then it'd be a fire hazard. This one is small enough to where it'll fit inside because it's so tiny. I mean, where's my thing? I mean, set this. Try to do it some way where you can see it. What is that? It's about a 1/4 inch thick or so ish. About a 1/4 inch. Okay, so we're slowly creeping up still, 133.7. But it's really not moving. So is that going to be where we're going to stop? Let me hold it with my hand. That might cool it down just enough. So, okay, that'll cool it down. Now let's see if it goes back up. Oh. Just by touching it, my thumb cooled the probe down. See if it goes back to that same temperature. So it appears 137.4. It's up. It's about. Oh, now it's going down. Okay, good. So now it went down a little bit. So that's good. So let's watch and see what it does. So it's going back and forth between 137.3 and 0.4. Well, now it's 76.6. Well, it's not going up much. Let's just say that that's 137. Let's say 138. So I'm going to take it off now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off of this probe, off of here, 137.8. And we'll let this get, I'm going to put this, it's going to be hard to put it up here. But I'm going to turn this on. It's on 60 right now. And it's cold outside, so, well, it's not, cold is not right. It's not cold, it's like in the, I think it's in the 60s outside. So, we'll see what this thermostat gets down to, where it stabilizes here. I mean, I guess if you want to, for entertainment value, if you want to see this up here, we can do that, but it's just for a demonstration. See how cold it gets. Now this is directly inside the vent. So, of course, we're in the winter time too, so that's, you know, that's YouTube. What I think is going down. Oh, the probe is here. Sorry. No wonder. The probe is supposed to be in here. And I can smell it. It doesn't even smell like it's the compressor's not on. The compressor's not on because you can just hear it blowing. It's not, you hear that the compressor's not on. So it's 53 degrees outside, I guess. I know it's cold and rainy. I know that. I don't think that's 53 degrees though. So it stopped at 53. Okay, well, come on, man. 3.6. So what I'm going to do is take this off, right? I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this probe under here, and I'm going to leave the temperature probe inside here so we can see how cold it gets, right? So this is the probe coming out. This is just the one that hangs out in the front. So let me put this down for a second. I don't know if you can hear, but the compressor just kicked out. I just stuck this inside. So that's inside there. I'm actually going to close this. Let me move this. Leave that probe there. That's inside. You can see how that's set in there. Sit right in there. Right in there. How big a boy are you? Come on. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Close this thing down. Let's look how cold this thing gets. That boy, I can feel it on my head. See how that's sitting inside there. That is damn dirty, man. See in there. wintertime, you don't really turn the air conditioner on, but that thing is nasty dirty. And earlier when I did it, it got down to 34 point something. Let's get to the side, man. That damn thing freezing me out. Shit. You'll see it'll get down around 34 something. Earlier what I did, it stayed around 34 for a while. That's why I decided to make a video when it stabilized 34 something. But even if this was just used for produce, or if it was used for plants or something like that, hanging meat, this is perfectly enough. And as long as it doesn't get to freezing, it doesn't get to 32 degrees, then the front can't freeze, right? If it's not to the freezing temperature. So because of the so it's right now it's 38.4. 43. I'm telling you, earlier it went down to 34 point something, so just keep watching it. This thing here, can you see, because it's sitting right here. So it's somewhat cooling it off as it's heating it up, so. Because it was 130. So what's 130? 130 something. And it's trying to get to 60 degrees. So this damn thing was 130 degrees. So there's it's a pretty big span it's got to cover. But it's also cooling it down, right? So it's 37 degrees cooler. So this thing, the air conditioner thinks it's 100 degrees. Basically, because the air is basically 100 degrees cooler than the probe. Because you remember the probe earlier went up to 137 degrees. The fish heater, this one, was 137, right? So I'm just gonna let this go until we get down there. I really don't expect it to hit. I don't expect it to hit 32. I can feel it, man. It is cold. It is cold. What does this thing say? "60 degrees. Let's put this in there and see what it does. Watch, it's gonna come down. See it coming down. Straight down, coming on down. So 37.4, so we should stop somewhere around 40. Just below 40. So that's at 40. You can see it. 5 degrees Celsius or so. It's a 37.2 on the digital one, and it's kind of hanging out there. Again, it's inside there. Remember, we got it inside. We're going to take that out. It's around 40. Again, not my probe out. So, again, this is inside there. This inside there. And it fell out, so it's warmer now because it fell out for a minute. It's going back down. So, this WILLHI is a brand of this thing. pretty decent little deal. Anyway, so that's I'm gonna leave it in there and see what temperature we can get down to, and we'll see how long. Most people would probably just fast forward to the end of this thing. I would. Good Lord, all this sitting here listening to this nonsense don't make any sense to to most of us. Give it an answer, right? So, but this is about as scientific as I get. Just showing the work, showing your homework, right? Teacher says show your work. That's an Aqueon mini heater 5 watt for aquariums. There's a SKU number. So it's in the right zone. You want to get below 40 degrees. 40 degrees is like the magical number. So above 32 and below 40. So it's in the right range. Like I said earlier, it was down in 34 point something. So right now it's stabilized 37.4. I think that's good enough to make the point. You can see this thing is set at 61 degrees. Oh, that's going down. All right, go. Well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? So it's around 37.2. That's Fahrenheit. That's good enough for a demo. To wrap it up, that's the WILLHI temperature probe. I can plug this in if it starts getting too cold, but it looks like it's self-regulating. To me, it does. And it's the mini heater 5 watt for fish tanks by Aqueon. We got them both on Amazon.